All right, hey guys, this is Ms. Y Davis, and I'm here to show you how to incorporate Google Drawings into your core subject. So if you can see here, I already have a rectangle already out, but I'm going to show you how I got to that rectangle and colored it so you can see exactly what you may want your students to do. And you can always do a rubric with this as well, but we're going to start with math, and I'm going to show you how you can incorporate that with this Google drawing. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is how did I get this rectangle. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Insert, a Shape, and then for your shape, you're going to just choose the rectangle icon, and then you just draw your rectangle. And as you can see, it's purple only because usually it'll be blue, but it's only purple because I've already had a customized gradient color to implement here. So you can always get your students to go to the fill box and change the color or the style of their tape diagram. All right, so since the top one is purple, we'll choose an orange color, I guess, for this second one, just so I can show you how to put the lines on there for the tape diagram. Now, it says how many pieces of half-meter rope are within 5 meters of rope. So basically what you want your students to do is to either create their own lines, or they can actually put many rectangles within this one rectangle to create it. That's why you see these rectangles here on the side. I'll show you both ways. All right, so if you want them to use freehand and kind of draw their own lines, you're going to go here where it says select a line, and you can have them to scribble or use a regular line, arrow, whatever one that they choose to use, or whichever one you want them to use. I usually like to scribble because the kids have more fun with this and they can see how difficult it is to actually make a straight line using a mouse. So we're going to go ahead and click on scribble. And what we're trying to do is find out how many half meters are in 5 meters of rope. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which that doesn't look even to me. So I'm going to move this over here. And then you don't actually have to delete it if you don't like. You can, let me go back to here. And then I'll move that over a little bit. Okay, all right. And so that's a little bit more even. Now we need our kids to see how many half meters are in this one 5 meter rope. So now you can always change the color. So if you want them to scribble or use the regular lines, this time we'll use the regular lines. And then I'm going to change the color of it so we can actually see it. So I guess I'll go with a white. Hopefully that pops up. There it is. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, it's moving. Sometimes it'll do that. And all you have to do is just hit the reverse button and it'll pop back up. So, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let me change this back to black so we won't get confused. There we go. Now I'm going to go back to my regular line. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, and I'm going to change that color to white. Okay. And then seven, 8. And then 9 and 10. So now we can see that between the white lines is half of the meter rope, so that 5 meter rope, so that's 1. And then when you get ready to, you can always have them to use their numbers. So we'll insert text boxes. So that'll be 1 text box, 2, sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now the students see that there are 10 half meters into this 1 meter, into this 5 meters of rope. Now, if you choose to use or have them to use the boxes to make it look more in line, you can do that as well. So I'm going to just ungroup these so I can move them one at a time. Well, try it again. Let's see. Ungroup. So what just happened is that the box went to the back of the rectangle. So you would just right click and then you would click on order and then just click on bring to front. Let's make sure. Let's do it again. Oh, I'm sorry. So let's do it this way then. All right, so now on the actual square, you would do right click, order, bring to front. So then when you get ready to move it, it's automatically in the front. Now, if it happens to where you do this and it goes to the back again, you can actually click on the rectangle itself and click on order and then send to back. And as you can see, it moves the rectangle behind the 2 squares that are already there. All right. And so now you're able to move your squares over to get your tape diagram, to finish the tape diagram. 4. Now remember, these we have not moved to the front, so let's go ahead and do that. Order, bring to front. So hopefully now when we get ready to move them over, they will be lined up right next to the other ones. All right, so here are our 10 boxes. And now, if they want, they can always put the numbers in the boxes, change the color of the boxes, whatever they need to do to get them to understand what it takes to have half meters into that one particular diagram. All right, so now what I want to show you is that here is a completed copy of one that I did with the word art numbers. So let me go ahead and move that over. Move it down. So as you can see, you can always play with this to get it to work the way you would like it, or the students will like it. They'll have much fun with it because now they can choose how they want to do their tape diagram. So that way they can change the colors and have a more visualization of how to incorporate this into their math learning. Also, one more thing. I do want to show you, so I'm going to move this up so I can have more space. You can always, I'll show you that in just a second, change the page setup, but let me group this so I can have more space, and then I'm going to move it up. Okay, so if you don't want them to use a tape diagram and you want them to use regular numbers, which is perfectly fine. That's however you want to show your students. And so this is what we're going to do. You can actually use the shapes to create your shapes and the word art to create your actual problem. So I'm going to move this one up as well so you can see that. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to size a little bit. And then we'll pull it up. And I'll do the same with this one. Now, if you choose for them to actually use the numbers and the dividing sign and the multiplication sign, then we can do it this way. So you'll insert word art, and then we will say 5. So here's our 5, and then we can go to insert shapes, equations, and so we're going to divide, put our division sign here. Five divided by 1/2. So now we're going to go back to insert word art and put 1/2. Okay, so now here is the actual problem that these students need to solve. Shapes, equations, and now I need my equal sign. So now, either way, you can have the students do it whichever way you feel more comfortable and that they will understand it better, and then they can solve the equation as follows. So also, if you choose to, the students can add background, they can add shapes, they can add more than just the actual squares. If you want them to go to, let's say, add pictures to show that they understand how many half meters are in a rope or how many of something is in that particular solution or that problem, you can always go to insert. And then if you go to image, you can search the web, and it's going to pull up a Google web on the side. And then what I like to do is I would type in transparent. So whatever they're doing, it'll be able to blend in with their picture. So transparent. P-A-R-E-N. Let's say transparent rope. Okay, so here is an actual rope. Okay, so then we'll take the rope and we can drag it over here. That's not the one you want to work with. You don't have to use that one. You can choose any one that you like, any one that the students like. They have a list of different images. And so you may want them to change it or move it to a more horizontal way. And so now they can use the rope, an actual rope, to figure out the problem. So let me use this page setup. I'm going to show you this real quick. You're going to go to File, and then we'll go to Page Setup, and this can give you a more lengthy page, so it won't be so spread over the place, or you can use the smaller custom size. I like to use basically a 8.5 by 11 because that's how big a sheet of paper is. Or you can do the 11 by 8.5, so that way it'll be more wide than it is long. It's totally up to you. All right, and so now I am going to I'm going to move my rope over so I can group this. And so that way I can shrink it down to size and move it where I need to move it to. So now I have more space. I can move my rope over. And now the kids can actually cut or use the lines to cut it. So they can say that's 5 and then cut it as in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and then they can move their lines accordingly. So to make it even, one, two, we're going to move that over. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna move that over. 5. There we go. Now, however they want to do it is fine, whatever helps them. So they can actually put a visual or a graphic with their actual drawing. All right, so guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. This will be posted on my YouTube. So just let me know. And thank you for watching.